Now let's talk about a guy who had a bit of a fall from grace last year. And that's our head coach, Brian Daboll. And talk about a guy who went from considered one of the best coaches in the NFL to a guy that a lot of people aren't so sure about anymore. There's talk about, is he fake? Will he make it past this year? There's a lot of talk about that, guys. I'm not saying it. Let's be very clear. Rob's not saying it.
Nope.
But that conversation is out there. So PFF did a ranking of their top head coaches in this league. Now, you think the guy won, head coach of the year, prior year, in his very first year. He had a team that had tons of injuries that was still fighting till the very end. Let's be very frank in this. This team was fighting nonstop at the end of the season last year, guys. This was not a team that gave up when most would have. This is not a team that stopped playing hard and was worried about getting injured and what their next contract would be. This team was fighting their tail off.
They won their last game against a team that, granted it's the Eagles, but
granted the Eagles lost to everybody.
Yeah,
but they were still playing hard. Their second half was better than the first half. If you go season-wise, it was better. They lost a lot of close games there, and this team kept fighting. But here's our write-up they gave him. Again, ranked him 21, obviously out of 32. They said a tough nut to crack after two widely different seasons to open his Big Blue tenure. Daboll was a rightful coach of the year in 2022, rejuvenating Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley en route to a surprise playoff run, only to slip as both a situational play caller and sideline maestro in 2023. Once again, the onus will be on him, maximizing Jones and still rebuilding offense in the tough NFC East. Guys, I feel like people are seeming to think he did a bad job last year.
Yeah, we'll give that.
I'd love to see what coach could deal with the injuries he had last year and succeed. Call me a Daboll apologist, but
you're starting quarterbacks out. Oh, the stud. Your
back
running back,
out.
Yeah. Your running back, who is the best player on the team, missed games with missing those quarterbacks.
You're signing guys off the streets to play guard, and then within that same game, they have to move to left tackle.
Yeah,
you got a defensive coordinator who's basically trying to undermine every single thing you're saying and doing, and trying to
acts like he's in high school.
Mutiny the locker room. And he doesn't lose the locker room. He doesn't. That locker room was still fighting for him the entire time. I'm sorry, that's way off base. I'm not sitting there saying he's a top 5 coach. I'm not sitting there saying that.
No.
I do think though that he's a lot better than 21, because that puts him below average.
I would give him a top 15. It's fair to say.
I would even say top 10. That team was fighting their freaking butts off for him.
They were. I would just.
You tell me how many coaches towards the end of the season had their team fighting their tail off still? Not a lot.
Tony Pierce.
What do you say, Antonio Pierce? Again, we talked about him before. Again, I don't want to get in too much individuals either, but Antonio Pierce followed Josh McCown, Josh McDaniel, sorry. Wrong Mick. Who is okay. It's okay. I'm all the nationalities. But who was hated and a complete jerk. Antonio Pierce, you're going to find out what he really is this season.
You just said name me a person. I just didn't. Just saying.
No, what I'm saying, there's not that many people that could do that. There's not.
No.
Look what. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this because Giant fans love this. Look what happened to Nick Sirianni. Did he rally that team? Did he keep that team going? Did they keep playing hard for him? Or did they bomb the second half? Bomb the playoff game they were in? They got him out of the plane. So can't say bomb. Bombardier.
Yeah.
Bombardier. But that's where we're at.
There was napalm all over Philly.
Did Dallas continue to play hard the second half against the Packers?
Ooh.
Just saying, this team kept
playing.
They
were unpacked by the Packers, or they were packed up by the Packers.
This team kept playing. Give them a little credit here. So,
thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.